Hey guys, welcome in. Welcome into tonight's live. I didn't know if you guys noticed the other night I put candles back there. Let me know if you noticed in the comment section. But welcome in. My name is Tanya or TitaniumBuilt, and welcome to my channel where we do talk all things true crime, and we do talk a little life vlog on this channel. So, not gonna lie, we be nosy. We're nosy in each other's business. So, if you guys don't mind taking a second, hit the like button, all the fun stuff we ask you to do before each stream, the things that we ask. But you guys have done well above and beyond on the like. I was really excited when I saw that. So welcome in, everybody. I won't say each person's name, but I do see everybody in the chat. It's good to see you guys. Every time I come on, I feel like it's been a while, but it's only been a day. It's only been a day. I don't know if you guys are getting bad winter storms, but we are here. So we had to go get some stuff just in case, But welcome in. Hopefully you're having a great Saturday and you're ready, like I said, for the storm that's coming in because it's supposed to be here. But I'm from Ohio, so it said we were supposed to get like a bunch of snow, 5 or 6 inches or something like overnight, and it was supposed to start at midnight. Well, I just checked my phone and now it's at 10 a.m. Like it's going to fizzle out probably before it even hits up here. And then I'm just going to say, that's okay. It's supposed to be bad. Yeah, Ladybug, but yeah, I don't know. Let me see. Hey, unnamed true crime channel. I was trying to see. I thought I saw a comment. I wanted to. Okay. Let me know if you have any questions. That's all. Just my opinion. I like that name. That's a cute name. That's a really cute name. You should have a channel. Do you have a channel? That sounds like a channel name. Just my opinion. I like it. 75 to 29 degrees, you mean? Ooh. It's supposed to be bad there tomorrow too. You heard the storm shifted? Well, maybe it's shifting out of my way. I don't know. But we didn't really need anything. We don't need anything. We shop like we're doomsday preppers or something, but we're not. Like Vincent today, we were in Costco and he was trying to get the big bucket of food that'll last you like 25 years. And I'm like, you're not getting that. What do you need that for? I don't even know what comes in there. Like freeze. I don't even know. It wouldn't be freeze dried. It would be like flour. I don't know. I don't know it lasts that long, but I don't know even if it lasts that long. But we did go to Costco, and let me tell you, everybody in the town that we were in was at the Costco. It was the craziest experience of my life. I'll tell you that. We usually go to Sam's, so that's why. But I'm just going to look over my notes so I can remember what we're doing here. I actually found some documents that are like, someone's been working hard. I know Body Moving is one of them that has a timeline. And then there's somebody else, and I forget the person's name, but when we come up to it, I'll show you. And I'll share these timelines with you guys also. That way, if you want to look at these on your own, you'll have everything right there. And they have put in the time. Let me tell you what. Like, I was going through these today, and I'm like, we should just go through some of this tonight because it's a lot. Thank you, Garrett. I know, Aries. That's what I was going to start off with, the bad news. I kind of thought it too the other night, but I didn't say anything because I saw that they had granted her a couple other continuances, but I thought it would be for the same day. So we'll start with that. Betty, Betty. I knew she's going to get a couple continuances, but I think this will probably be it because of just the fact that this judge doesn't seem like he's going to want to give a bunch. Now, I know I had it was like a speeding ticket, but then I was going like really fast. And I forget, but they were trying to do like something with me with that. They were what it was. I was trying to think of what I was saying. I just kept trying to continue it. It was just like a speeding ticket, it was something else. I can't remember, like clearance or something, like too close. And my mom was like, if you continue this case one more time, I said, I don't want to get in trouble. I knew I wasn't going to get in trouble, but like a fine, but I didn't know that for sure. You don't know for sure. So I'm like, continuance. So like literally I got like 8 of them. I'm not lying. I probably, maybe more, to the point where they probably should have just like dragged me into court. Like, it's just a speeding ticket. It's $100. Go pay it at the window and get out of here. It was literally something like that. So, hey, what the fox? I like that name. You guys come up with some good names. Oh, I don't know, Aries. I thought maybe they knew, but you're right. Well, they still have her for one. So up here is for some reason it didn't like, I guess I don't know why it didn't put like continuance granted over here, but it's granted. And it's for 3/19 now. So March 19th. We're all the way out in March. And she still has the motion hearing though on the 8th. Now she might not have to be there for that. That I don't know, because it's not the criminal hearing. If you guys know that, let me know. I don't know if she has to be there for that though. You guys are always so nice to each other in the chat. Sorry if I get quiet. I read your guys' chat sometimes. Just, you guys are so nice. So I mean, hopefully she has to go to the one on the 8th, but I'm thinking maybe not. She looked pretty chummy when I was looking at her I looked at her YouTube earlier tonight and I was like, oh God, Betty, she's a whole mess. Yeah, if she does have to be there and she doesn't show up, they could revoke her bond for sure. And they would. Sarah Luna, I like that name. Betty gets too many passes. Oh my gosh. And the stuff that she was saying, I was about to switch the live and do a Betty live, because she had so much to say about Stephen Crabtree and everything going on with that. And it's just like, Betty, sit down. You've been arrested 44 times. And I guess in Florida, they don't do this, I don't think, in Ohio. Maybe they do. I don't know. But on the ticket, when you get issued like a citation, they check your appearance and they look at you and they mark if you're dirty or you're clean or whatever. I was in a chat one day and they were going through all 44 charges and over half of them had her marked as dirty. So Betty, just keep your thoughts to yourself. Just keep your thoughts to yourself over there, is all I'm going to say. She likes to instigate. Did you see her? She was up on BJ's panel the other night. I got sent a clip about fell out of my chair. I really did. I was like, what? Like, this is getting real deep, working together, talking on the phone, maybe. I don't know. I couldn't do it. So I do want to start off the live with this, but as most of you guys know, this case has turned into a complete circus, including all the side show shit that you can contour up, really. It got me thinking about how can we use this platform here to help Sebastian and to help kids like Sebastian, The only thing that I can come up with is to combat the lies, the disinformation, because it is disinformation at this point. Some of it is misinformation, but a lot of it is that disinformation. I figured we can just go through those things and cut them off. Just cut them off of the neck, like a snake or whatever you call it. Because I'll be in people's chats, like creators. As a creator too, I get confused sometimes. And because there is so much stuff that goes on in this case, that's gone on in this case with just everything, just in general, there is a lot of information that's been spilled out here, whether we've liked to hear it or we didn't want to hear it, we've heard it at this point. But I thought if we could just combat some of the disinformation, maybe we can help a little bit. Because these creators are getting their information from Lore Lodge, deception detective or whatever his name is. These are not reputable people. They don't have credentials to be doing what they're doing. I don't know about the one guy in the glasses. I don't think he was ever a detective. He looks too young to me, but that's just me. But that's who they're getting their information from. And then the Lore Lodge, he has no facts. Like absolutely no facts. It's really sad. It's real sad for him. And it's real sad that his videos get that many views. And then those creators, what they do is they take those videos, they take them back to their big audiences, and then they disseminate that out to them. And then it's just misinformation, disinformation everywhere. So, but yeah, that's what happens. But I'm not sure where to start because this is a crazy case. But I haven't seen every interview that's ever been done. I'll admit that. To be honest, when I didn't know about Duchess's interview with Katie and Chris for a while, I would say. I started covering this case on the 3rd, the day of the interview. It was either the 3rd or the 4th. I think it was the 3rd. We talked about it that night, but it was just like in with another live. I just spoke about it at the end, and I think we started covering it on the 4th. So I never went and watched Duchess's interview and I never brought it to the channel because at that point, people had played that interview 1,000,001 times. I mean, Duchess was getting like copyrights, like using your stuff again. Like I didn't want her to have to get one from me, like someone's using your stuff again, So I'm sure that she'll be fine with me using her video now. But I just wanted to tell you guys, I never ended up watching it. Like I've seen clips and bits and pieces of it, but I never watched the whole thing all the way through. And I don't know why I never went back. I don't know. I should have. Your girl should have, but she just kept going forward. Actually, before we do that, I want to watch this thing with SF. But this is what kind of almost gave me the idea today to do this. So SF put out a post, and it says here, this is a screen recording I just made in the hopes of refocusing the discussion on the search for Sebastian. Because, I mean, it's really been taken off of him, especially the last couple of weeks. I don't make videos, so please excuse the video's roughness and lack of scripting. I am tired, frustrated, and saddened by what this case has become. In the video, I share some of the surveillance footage, express my concerns, and outline what I believe the next steps in the search should be. So let me put this video link in the chat in case you guys want to go over there and watch it. Hey, Minister of Defense, and welcome in, everybody. It's good to see you guys. Hey, Pancakes. And I saw Ladybug and Mary Beth were here, too. I see everyone's here. It's good to see everybody. Where was that? There we go. Okay, I'm like, where was we at? So we can make this bigger. Okay. So this is going to be SF, and he's going to give us just a little bit of his thoughts on this case.
So what you're going to see is Max and Max's handler appear over here. Max's handler is actually right there. Get down the SUV. Max, you're going to see him clear here.
And this is going to be footage from the day that Sebastian went missing, the 26th.
There's Max walking here.
Can you see his cursor up here? I don't know if you can see mine, actually. I don't know if you can see mine. Yeah, you can see mine. Okay. So I'll put mine where his is. So up here in this tree line, there's a person walking with a dog. And SF is just explaining that that's Max and his trainer.
His handler.
Or handler.
Right there. He comes down. It doesn't. He came in an SUV. He's not a tracking dog. He'll pick up scents of humans. He's like a police dog. He's a force protection dog. He's not been scented. They haven't given him a scent article, I don't imagine, because this is very early. So he's picking up any scent. But as you can see, he's not tracking a line definitively. What they're going to do is they're going to wander up here, this is like the dirt road area. That goes up and arcs over, and then comes where this temporary
He's
parking
going
lot
this
is,
way.
and then downhill, and eventually the pond that he goes in supposedly is down over here.
Okay, so the pond is going to be on the right side. I don't know if you can see his cursor or not. Let me look. Oh yeah, you can see his cursor. Okay. It's just kind of small.
Down over here, this is the cemetery over here with this tree line. So, this is basically, what happens with Max. Now, even Max is while he's doing his thing. I mean, these loaders and trucks, see one coming right here, are. I mean, I would have been, as a handler, I would have been terrified to have Max running around in that. I do not fault them at all. This is very early on. I think Ken Wagner and EMA did an amazing job with the search and continue to do an amazing job. I'm not knocking them at all. Here's why I'm making this video. Besides getting things back on track, getting the discussion back on Sebastian.
Yeah, it's up as high as it'll go.
If there's any search and rescue operators out there, or if Sumner County EMA has ground penetrating radar and they're specialists in using it, I think this area needs to be swept with ground penetrating radar in case a tragedy happened and a dump truck accidentally put a load of fill on top of him. It's tragic to think about, but we're 10 months in. We got to think about every option out there. And the reality is we all know that, worst case scenario is an option. We hope that it's an abduction and somebody has him and law enforcement will find him and get him back. But in the meantime, before these houses are going up incredibly quick and they're pouring all this cement. You can see, there's over here, they're still working over here. It's something that that needs to be done. It's something that makes sense. And I'm not we do have access to a ground penetrating radar. I've never operated them before. I'm not an expert in ground penetrating radar. I don't know anything about it, to be honest with you. We'll wing it if we have to. But if there's other experts that can make themselves available, or if Sumner County EMA will do this is a plea to say, listen, before they pour more of this cement, before they put more of these houses over here, wouldn't it make sense to check this area with ground penetrating radar? I mean, I think it does, because these trucks ran all day long, and I get it. I get why it didn't get shut down right away, but it's it's a possibility. So anyway, I hope maybe this was a little bit informative, but I hope we can get the discussion back on Sebastian and finding him and the things that make sense.
I wonder how far. I'll let him finish. He's done.
Him, the search theory and the search plan going forward, and keep it about Sebastian.
Oops. If he were to have had like a really bad, tragic accident out there, right? Wouldn't they have found him out there? Didn't they search out there? I mean, I know you can miss. And I've been saying, I think that he's close to the home. I've been saying that since the beginning. I believe he's within a half a mile. That's just in my head. I don't know in my heart. I hope I'm wrong. I hope he's abducted and I hope he comes home. But I wonder how far down they would have to take the ground penetrating. Would it just be in with the soil? You know what I mean? I don't know. My brain just starts to go funky and starts to overthink. Because I'm just how does that work? And I know how it works. So and he said that there was trucks going in and out of there all day. I wonder if I mean, this is an option. I mean, what if Sebastian did leave the home on his own, whether to like meet up with a friend or just to maybe go hang out in the woods? Maybe that's something that he did. We don't know. We don't know Sebastian. But then that would be so late at night. Like if it was construction, they wouldn't be there to like hit him. So I was thinking like if he got hit by a car, but if he got hit by a car, there would be parts of the car like in the road. Do you know what I mean? Even if they got like Sebastian out of the road or whatever, there would still be like damage to like a vehicle. And not only that, but like I'm sure there'd be like pieces of like a tail light or, you know, a piece of the car like there, unless they stopped and picked up everything. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm just trying to think of other options, um, other than the parents did it, if that makes sense. Because it seems like that's just what, you know, what everyone goes to now. We've seen in cases where, you know, there are kids that go missing. Harley Dilly, we talked about that case. I mean, he just wanted to go into like an abandoned home and decided to go down the chimney and got stuck. I mean, was there for a long time. You still think it was someone in the neighborhood? And a lot of people say that. Hey, Candy Wrapper, good to see you. Hey, Duchess. I was just talking about you. Look at that. Asking you shall receive. But we're starting from the beginning. Or we're trying to. You don't think he made it home that night? See, I do. I think he left on his own. I've always thought that. I've always thought, well, my thing, and I still believe that this could be a possibility. Since March or whenever we started theorizing, you know, because we started covering this case in March. I've always thought maybe, he did meet up with some people from school and they were bullies. But I don't know. I mean, it makes me think of the Skylar Neese case. Those girls, I mean, they hit her. They had to tell the cops where to go find her. Like they had her like up in the woods. I mean, I don't know. And that's what I wanted to get down to also. I want to just listen to the first interviews because I want to hear the stupid changing of the story. Because in my opinion, from what I remember and what my ears remember, it was like she said she heard a noise, Katie did, and then she changed it to a thud later. And in my mind, I was thinking she had more time to process it and was like, oh, that's more like, you know, that was more like a thud, not just like a little noise. Like, and I wish she would have never said that. I mean, you know, because it just made people just go off the deep end. They really did. Thanks you, Candy Wrapper, for being a member for a month. Look at that. No, I was telling them earlier, Duchess, I never got to watch your whole interview with them because everyone else, someone in particular, played it so many times. I was like, I don't want to like make y'all have to go through me playing it. So, but I'm going to play it probably tonight because I was looking at Body Movin's timeline and I'm like, my good golly, that's something else. She's done a lot of work. And then before we do that, since we just watched SFs, let's see. So what I thought we would do is just watch some of the interviews. So Body Movin' and then this other person, let me get her name. I think it's Maya. They put together like interviews and different like paperwork, different comments, like, you know, that they saw in like different comments from Seth or people that are on that sort of green team, I guess you call it. And there was a bunch of like screenshots from the Facebook groups from Seth Rogers' mom and maybe even the Bower Sox. I'm not sure if they were on Facebook or not. I don't know if they said anything actually. So we'll go through like all that stuff. There's just a bunch of screenshots. There's a lot. There's a whole lot. And then some of it I have to like maneuver with my mouse, my tracking pad. So let's see where we want to start. I guess we could start with the DVR up if it were paperwork. Just start from the beginning. I thought I had it up, but I guess I didn't. Or let's do this. Let's go over the timeline. We'll go through the timeline. We'll go through from 2/6 to like March 3rd. That's what we'll do. And then that way, it'll all be like in chronological order. Sorry, I couldn't get my thought there. I was just reading, I'm reading and I'm laughing at myself with this fuckery. Like, I love this so much. And I think this is Body Movement. Yeah. So Body Movement put this together. Like, wow, you did a great job. A wonderful job. So it shows at the top. Let me see what it looks like for you guys. So you guys can see it a little bit. Is it blurry for you guys? Because it's like, I mean, I think it's just kind of small. Let me see if I can. I need like a trackpad over here. Like on this side, because I have to go all the way over here. Maybe we'll just do this so you guys can see it like a little bit better. Oh, wait, but it won't let me go back over. Okay, well, that ain't going to work. That's weird. Okay, well, I'll read them to you. You just have to listen. That's all. No one's allowed to read but me. I do want to make it like a little bit bigger for you guys, though. It's like way tiny. Oh, don't you do this to me. I thought me and you were going to be friends, laptop. It's just like my other MacBook. Okay. I hate this. I hate the trackpads. I really do. We're going to have to make it small. Sorry, guys. Okay. So I can actually, move the screen up and down. Okay. We'll get there. Thank you for holding for me. Let me get on the right page. So on 2/26, 2024, not 2/25, not 2/24, 2/26, TBI issues an endangered child alert. And that's the TBI issued that. So at the top it says the date, the time, category, who the submission was like made by, the event, the link. If it's a YouTube, please get link from timestamp. And then there's quick notes. So I like the quick notes too. So let's look over some of these. And we'll go down to, like I said, like March 3rd, and then we'll stop there, and then we'll go over and we'll look at the interview a little bit, and then we'll look at the notes from the interview. If I have, I think that one I'm trying to get access to, so it might take a day or so. But it says here that WKRN, that's been one of the major news stations out there that has been covering this. And it says the Tennessee Bureau of Investigations issued an endangered child alert at approximately 11:17 a.m. on behalf of the Sumner County Sheriff's Office. In the alert, investigators wrote that Sebastian was last seen earlier that day near Stafford Court in Hendersonville. Seen earlier that day. The search teams, and so then the next line, sorry. So the next is about the search. And I think I can go to this too, but it says the search teams covered nearly a 5-mile radius in the Beach and Shackle Island area. It's a pretty big area. I wonder if this will. Okay. Let's go over here. This is News Nation. They're usually pretty decent with their timelines. I'm a sucker for a timeline. I like timelines. So we'll go through this. I have like my tabs all screwed up. Let me just fix them real quick. This will make life easier. There we go. That's all I needed to do. Okay. So it says, we'll just go back here. So March 26th, the search begins. And let me know if you guys have seen like these articles and stuff too that I'm pulling up, because I know some of them we've went over before, but some of them that we'll see we haven't. The Tennessee Bureau of Investigations issued an endangered child alert around 11:17 a.m. on behalf of the Sumner County Sheriff's Office. In the alert, investigators wrote that Sebastian was last seen earlier that day near Stafford Court in Hendersonville. He was described as wearing a black sweatshirt, black sweatpants, and glasses. Close to a dozen agencies, including the TBI, Tennessee Highway Patrol, Nashville Fire Department, City of Hendersonville First Responders, Sumner County Sheriff's Office, and Shackle Island Volunteer Fire all began searching for the teen on Monday, February 26th. That is a ton of resources. Wow. Like, I don't even think, no, in my small hometown, I don't even know who they call Ghostbusters. It's just them. I guess OSBI, Ohio. I guess that's who they call. But I mean, really, this is a lot of people. Sumner County EMA Director Ken Widener said there were over 200 searchers on the ground that day, with multiple canine teams, mounted units, helicopter crews, and even drones being deployed. That's a lot of people searching. As the search stretched into the afternoon, the TBI sent out another tweet at 4:35 p.m. asking residents living in the area around Beach High School and along Long Hollow Pike to check their outbuildings, garages, and cars in case Sebastian was using any as hiding places. Oh, that's sad about Caleb there. They have that in the middle. I don't recall off the top of my head when the last search like this was. Chief Deputy Eric Craddock with the Sumner County Sheriff's Office told News 2. Obviously, this one is exceptionally more important, being a child who does have autism. The search teams covered a nearly 5-mile radius in the Beach and Shackle Island area. So then Tuesday, February 27th, Amber Alert was issued. Tuesday, February 27th, with the TBI upgrading the alert level to an Amber Alert around 3:25 p.m. The reason to the decision to upgrade the alert was based on additional investigative information developed during the search. Investigative information, I'm assuming that he had autism, but the urgency of the search was already increasing as colder temperatures were expected to move into the area, and authorities were unsure whether or not Sebastian was properly dressed for the weather. Dozens of agencies continued searching and began employing unique tactics suggested by community members, such as playing Sebastian's favorite song, Eye of the Tiger. A potential sighting was reported on Newman's Trail, but officials confirmed it was not Sebastian. By Tuesday, February 27th, searchers have covered over 2,000 miles on foot and went through Sebastian's home multiple times. So, okay, right there, February 27th. They covered 2,000 miles on foot, but I know half people don't care. They want to hear this part. Really, I mean, it's sad but true. They have went through Sebastian's home multiple times. So they're putting out there like, hey, we've checked his home. We're doing our due diligence. We've already checked it a few different times just in case. Maybe we need to go back in there. Maybe we missed something. Go back in. Maybe we missed something. And Seth did say that their house was pristine, I think was his words. So I'm assuming that Sebastian's room was pretty cleaned up to where that, it would be easy to see something if something was like out of place. I feel like maybe not all the way, because he is a teenage boy, but for the most part, I think his room was probably pretty put together. So, Wednesday, February 28th, the TBI puts out a statement. In the statement that they put out, and it's explaining why Sebastian's parents were unable to share more details about the missing teen. So it says, due to growing public interest, the TBI put out a statement explaining why Sebastian's parents were unable to share more details about the missing teen. Understandably, there is an interest in hearing from friends and family to help provide more of a personal context about Sebastian. However, We have been requested by the family to let local media know that they are not in a position to speak to or be available to the media at this time. We have told them that while we would relay their messages, it would be the decision of the individual media outlets and reporters to proceed as they see fit. So right there, they were telling them not to do interviews. Don't be going out giving a bunch of interviews. That was probably almost like their warning for the internet too, but they didn't put that in the clause. They need to put, don't go on YouTube. Don't worry about, go on national TV. They're liable. They're more liable, but YouTubers, some of them will put anything out. We've seen that, like with the CPS reports. Like, that was crazy seeing that live. So many people in there ready to look at CPS reports. Like, we had a right to that. Really. In a press conference Thursday, February 29th, officials said they had received several tips amid calls for people to check their surveillance cameras, but none were confirmed sightings of Sebastian. There was a glimpse of hope that day as search dogs tracked a scent, but it turned out to be a false alert. Investigators also drained a pond to the east of Sebastian's home and found nothing. And that had been the retention pond. Saturday, March 2nd. Let me put my iPad back up here. Whoops. So I can see you guys. Let me put this up here. There we go. And welcome in, everybody. I don't think that Katie has a drinking problem. She may right now. I would, but I don't think she had one prior. I think people having a bar in their dining room is. I'm surprised it wasn't in the living room. I would love to have like a little bar cart in my living room. I don't drink, but I would love to have one, just for people, like if someone ever came over that did drink, which no one ever comes over, so I would just have a bar cart for show. But I would have one. And Katie and Chris are young. They're younger than me. Shoot, have a drink, have a couple. I think if Katie had a drinking problem, we would have saw her drinking one of them big, tall draft beers at the old Texas Roadhouse. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's just me. I have about 10 bottles of wine in my dining room and I don't drink. Yeah. Right? That just, it's, yeah, dry, but right? Everyone have their opinion. You can have your opinion. We're sorry. It's just, man, this could send someone into something like that. Makes me think of, like, if I were to go miss, it just made me think of like my parents, because they're not, they were alcoholics, like what that would do to somebody that was like, oh man, I just think that'd be a real bad. Where were we at? So then March 4th, that's when they scale back the search. So authorities announced Monday, March 4th, that they're scaling back the ground search for Sebastian and transitioning to an investigation after a week of intensive efforts and still no signs of the missing teen. Now, I'm not sure how many, like what qualifies. I know that there were certain things that they said qualified to make this more of an investigation approachable case. And like, not like so much searching, but maybe it'll say it in here, but I can't remember what those were exactly. But we will find them. We'll come across them. This is during the Monday, March 4th press conference. Craddock also said there were no leads, no details to indicate that Sebastian is not alive. Then on Thursday, March the 7th, this is officials search the landfill. So like 10 days later. The search for Sebastian took investigators to Kentucky on Thursday, March 7th, where investigators searched a landfill. Does anyone know how long they were at that landfill? According to the sheriff's office, the landfill in White Plains was where the trash went from Sebastian's neighborhood in the beach area. Officials called the search of the landfill a precautionary measure to eliminate possible options and questions, and said there was no specific information indicating evidence related to the search for Sebastian was there. So no heavy trash that night, none of that stuff, none of that. The search concluded that evening, with authorities later stating that it did not provide any additional clues as to what happened to Sebastian. So they only went for one day, but they didn't go for 10 days after. I know they would know where the trash was, like the general location, right? But you would have to dig awfully deep, I would think, to get 7 days down or 10 days down. I don't know. What do you guys think? I think that's I know that, I keep wanting to say Elijah. Quentin. I couldn't think, oh my gosh, I wanted to call him Elijah. I was like, Quentin. I know that it took the investigators with Quentin, that in his case, it took them 6 weeks of searching. So, that was a baby, but they only searched for one day. That just seems kind of not a lot. I don't know. So few new updates have been provided since. However, the public has continued to push to keep the case in the spotlight by putting up signs in their yards and posting flyers from the Sumner County Sheriff's Office in local businesses and on social media outlets. Multiple vigils have been held in the weeks since Sebastian went missing, with community members wearing green on Friday, March 1st to support Sebastian and his family. Sebastian's 5'5", 120 with dirty blonde hair. If you have seen Sebastian or have info about his whereabouts, call the Sumner County Sheriff's Office, 615-451-3838, or TBI at 1-800-TBI-FIND. And then we'll go back over here. Okay, so then look, 2:26 at 7:20 p.m. We've already got fuckery here. It's so bad. And this is who? Sebastian Effery. Praying he will be found. It says, my grandson, Zach, sends prayers too. I'm not sure if this would help, but Zach said before Christmas he kept mentioning about wanting to go to the forest through the door at the special ed room to hide from teachers and everyone. Followed up, Zach gained schools after Christmas break. Zach said he always talked about liking to run a lot. Well, that's like the link to the comment. We can see what maybe it'll see it. Let us see it. Okay, so here it is. Just when was it? Oh, Sumner County's office. Okay. 44 weeks ago. Wow, that's craziness. Oh, I didn't even show it to you guys. It's just, this is the comment. Let me see what the replies were. Zach changed schools after Christmas. Okay, it says change. That's what I was like. It was a G there. I was like, what is that supposed to say? Zach said he always talked about liking to run a lot. I wonder if that's like an autistic trait, running a lot. Like, I know eloping is, but I wonder if like just running in general, like if that's like a thing that like maybe most or some, autistic kids like to do. Because I know when I was a little girl, I used to run. If I didn't want to come in, I would run. I'd run so fast. My mom would be like, I don't know what to do. My dad would just be laughing. He'd just be on the couch laughing. He knew she'd have to come out and get me. So then we're down to 2:27. And then that's when Ken Widener's statements, Amber Alert. We just went through that. So it says here, Apparently, he doesn't sleep a lot at night and he's more active at night. EMA Director Ken Widener said. He'll probably sleep some more in the day, so we hope he's laying down and resting, and we just don't want him to outwalk the search. The ground that he can cover on foot, we know, and we're working with that. We're putting that into consideration when we create the areas that we search. So maybe, they were thinking maybe he was up like all night and sleeping during the day. And there is somewhere on here that says his medications too. And I've never heard of them. Like, I remember Seth talking about them, and I remember looking them up or like putting them in the computer to look them up. I don't think I ever did though. So hopefully we'll get to that and I can look into that. Just because I'm curious as to what they would be treating and stuff. So then on the same date, that's when they had the day 2 search. It says Craddock said authorities have received several tips over the course of the search and are looking into every possible lead, including a potential sighting on Newman's Trail off Long Hollow Pike, but so far none of those tips have panned out. Same date, police said Rogers walked out of his Shackle Island community home Sunday night carrying a flashlight and wearing a black sweatsuit. I was trying to see when the next date is. 2/28. Understandably, there is interest. I'm going to put my glasses on. In hearing from friends and family to help provide more of a personal context about Sebastian. However, we have been requested by the family, and this is all like what I think I read to you guys pretty much from the other site. But it says, we have been requested by the family to let local media know that they are not in a position to speak to or be available to the media at this time. We have told them while we would relay their message, it would be the decision of the individual media outlets and reporters to proceed as they see fit. The stamina and pain threshold and drive in these men and women with autism is greater than ours, Sumner County EMA Director Ken Widener said. We know the tendency to follow creeks is great. Yeah, I heard that like autistic people like water. We covered another case where a little girl walked out of her house. She was 2 years old, was out for 48 hours, almost 2 days. She was out. I know that's nothing compared to a year, but she was only a little baby. And they found her with the household cat. She took the cat with her. She went to go look for her mama. Her mom passed away, and she didn't comprehend what that meant. And so she would try to leave, escape. And the family was not, they were not wealthy at all. No one else, I don't even think covered this case on the platform, but I remember we covered it, and they found her, and they ended up, the whole community rallied together and the police, and they got them all alarms for all the windows and all the doors, and like, so that preventative measures, to help the family out. And I thought that was incredible. I would like to be able to connect people to be able to get those kind of resources because people need them. So we are going to go down to 2/29 because this was a leap year. In the first 2 days, crews searched 2,000 miles on foot. We had read about that. So numerous local and state agencies continue to search for the 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers. They're asking, residents in that area still to check, underneath anything in their yard or, outhouses, anything that they have that they could look in to see if Sebastian may be, hiding somewhere. Then on 3/1, so March the 1st, a dive team from Franklin Police Department was called in to assist. Experts say individuals with autism are attracted to bodies of water. And then on the same day, like Sebastian came to my classroom because it's a small classroom. He always would be smiling and always had a great imagination when it came to drawing, Haynes said. And it says Sebastian likes small spaces. Investigators have reason to believe Sebastian may have traveled as far as Clarksville, so they are checking that route. And that's when I think they put that on like the TBI flyer or something. They switched it. And they said like he may have connections to there. No, that wasn't then. That was later on. That was later on. I'm sorry. We're still like, we're back in March. It's insanity that we're going into 2025. We're in 2025 and we still have no Sebastian. We're looking at 2024 stuff. So, then on 3/2, they want them to review footage from the security and trail cameras, focusing on Sunday afternoon through Monday morning as the search for Sebastian entered its 6th day, with officials stating that there has still not been any sightings. The sheriff's office told News 2 an anonymous group of business owners in the Nashville area had pledged a minimum cash reward of $3,000 for information. So that was the first type of reward that we heard of. Who would have known we'd be up to what, $1 million now because of Dog the Bounty Hunter? I'm being sarcastic. You know, I know it's not $1 million, but it's crazy. Then on the 3rd, that's when they go on with Duchess. It says rewatched on 4/12. Katie states that she started falling asleep at 10 p.m. on the couch. Neither her or Chris up the thump that they talked about in the other interviews going forward. CP states between 12 and 6 a.m. he went missing. CP refers to him and / Katie as the boy the mom threw out. Oh, and then she has like, they even put the transcript there. Like, that's crazy. I think this is her notes. Okay. Like, wow, body moving. We'll actually go here, copy that. Let me get some of, what did I do? There it is. For some reason, it went on the visual for the Idaho 4. I must have clicked one of these things. I have a bunch of tabs, like those tabs that you can like keep on your computer for longer, not the ones all the way at the top. I don't know what they're called, but I have a bunch for Idaho. Oh, was it a good update, Duchess? I hope it was a good one. We're just getting ready to play your interview. You probably love hearing yourself, I'm sure. I'm sure you just love it. I'm one of those people, I hate hearing myself. I'm always like, oh my gosh, that's me. That's me talking. Oh yeah. Okay. So let's go over here to Duchess's and let me exit out of these a little bit. And this is her live. This is the first time that Chris and Katie came out and they said anything. Oh, we'll make sure we like the video. We go over and like. I bet a lot of people see it? Well, yeah, a lot of people saw it. And this is when Trevor Lee, I remember seeing him on YouTube post something. It was right around the same time that Terry Dean emailed me and she asked me if I would look at this case. I don't think she ever realized in her mind, in her brain, what this case was going to become when she asked, me to look at, like, can you look into this? Like, help promote it or, get his name out. And I'm like, oh, sure. So that night, it had to have been the 3rd. I think it was the 3rd. And then the 4th was the first interview. And then that's when I started seeing like Trevor Lee was already like posting days in. So he very much knows a lot about this case. And he very much got treated poorly in this case. But, you live and you learn. But I think she even has it to the timestamp and when they come up. So we'll play it from here. And I'll speed it up a little bit for us. And if you guys don't mind, just hit the like button for your girl. And I'll be in the chat with you guys.
About that. So currently, as of today, the National Guard was also brought in to help with the search. But they have had fixed wing aircraft, helicopters,
Oh, maybe this is. Hold on, I gotta go back.
horseback, ATVs, side by side,
I think he comes
door
up
to
before
door.
here. I think this is like when they were just talking about the. Okay, yeah, it's a little bit further back. That's when they're talking about this when he doesn't say, you're going to hear about the case that'll be studied for years. You're going to hear about that. So
about
keep your ears peeled.
Sebastian going missing. So I guess I will just kind of start out with tell me what happened the day that Sebastian went missing. I know that his mom said that he was having a good day. He had had a great weekend. So do you want to walk us through what that looks like again for everybody?
He did have a really good weekend, actually. When we come home from having supper that evening, he was playing. When he went to bed, when I told him to go to bed, he said, "I love you, Mama," and he said, "I love you, puppies." A little later in the evening, I myself went to bed, and when I went to wake him up for school, he wasn't here.
And you did tell me that Sebastian is not a runner.
He's not.
It's okay. Take your time.
Sebastian does not have a history of running. I mean, the young man doesn't go outside very much. I mean, everybody in the neighborhood knows him. He is very to himself, so to speak. Between the hours of 12 and 6, he is basically vanished.
And that's another thing. You guys see the house. Okay. Like, I know that a lot of people have seen like the inside of their home because a lot of people, was doing the Zillow thing. And then I put up the Zillow thing yesterday because I wanted to show everybody that they weren't selling their home. So you can see though, inside of their home, they have like shutters on the inside. So instead of having like traditional blinds, they have like shutters that open. If, in my opinion, Sebastian were to go out his bedroom window, I don't think that he would have been able to, one, get the shutters back closed, get the window pulled back down, but I don't think he would have known how to put the screen back on correctly because the locks of the screen are on the inside. They go like in and then they like go inverted. I only know this because I used to sneak in a lot at my parents' house. So there was little holes so I could get the locks to unlock and I can take the screen off. But most screens are like that, like where they have those little locks at the bottom, or some of them have them in the middle at the top, like in the middle or in the middle. So that could be it too. So I just wanted to point that out because I personally don't think he went out the bedroom window.
Walked out of the house, the door was locked and gone.
He didn't take a phone. None of his shoes are missing.
Now, you told me that night that, now, Chris, you were at work. You were out of town at work,
Yes,
so you were not even home.
Correct, ma'am.
And Mom, you fell asleep on the couch about 10 o'clock, but you said that Sebastian went to bed at 9 p.m. And then you got up off the couch and you went to bed and you said that was around midnight.
Midnight.
I just thought of something. They called off the search on the same day, right, Duchess? I think they did. I'm wondering if that's why Katie and Chris decided to come out. You know what I mean? Like, and be like, if they're like, they're changing it into like an investigation, maybe that's why they wanted to come out and get more like, they were like, okay, we're not sitting back any longer. We're going to go out and we're going to talk. Because that would make sense,
And nothing was unusual at that point. Everything seemed okay.
There's actually a piece of, so to make something very crystal clear, So that way
Okay.
there's transparency across the board.
I want a crystal clear shirt, but better than Betty's because it is a good. It
Me
is
and the
a good
mom were on
saying.
the phone at 9:43 or 9:46 in the evening. We stayed on the phone for quite some time. The call logs have been verified by all the police departments, TBI included.
Call logs verified. 3-hour phone call. It happened. We can shut that down. Check. So next time, if you're going to chat somewhere and they're like, they weren't on the phone, you can say, yeah, it was checked by TBI.
We stayed on the phone.
If they're lying right here, which I don't think they are, we would find out because, we'll find out what happened.
It was very lengthy. Mom did slightly start falling asleep while she was on the couch. I had said, hey, you need to wake up, put the dogs up, go to bed. Now, mind you, that was right around midnight, just before midnight or right around midnight.
Mhm.
So then mom does go to bed and wakes up early in the morning to go wake her son up, get him ready for school. And now we have a worried mom who can't find her son in the house. Mom made an effort to look and search several times. Mom has called me at the time and asked me, she was like, I can't find him. I was like, do what? She goes, yeah, I cannot find him. I said, well, hang on. I made the phone call and reported it to the sheriff's department because that's what we're supposed to do. And within 10 minutes, the sheriffs were dispatched to the location.
And you had told me that there hadn't been any particular situation that had occurred where you felt like there would have been something that happened. And I also had asked you if there were any friends that Sebastian might have possibly left the house with, or if he had any contact with anyone on social media. Do you want to comment about that again?
He doesn't have a social media.
Okay.
And the only friends that he had
Happy
were a couple of
birthday.
kids in school.
Okay.
All the kids that have had any interaction with him have been interviewed and asked.
Okay.
We as parents know how social media can be,
Right.
and seeing how kids can be easily manipulated.
He's very young in mind.
Yes, he may be.
Right.
He's about 15, and he's 15 in age in his body, but his mind is not caught up to his body. But that is something that goes through with autistic children, as everybody would know.
Right.
But for the record, I am a very strict parent. He does not have social media, not in our household. He doesn't online game. I'm pretty strict when it comes to that kind of situation.
Well, that's good. That's good, Chris, that you have control of that, because social media can be very dangerous for young kids because they don't realize who they may be talking to on.
Do you guys remember social media whenever do you remember when you guys first ever got on social media? I think most of us are around the similar ages. Like we all kind of came in with the internet. AOL, they'd be like ASL. And you're like, what's that mean, right? And then you figure it out real quick. And then you're like, well, I'm not going to tell them my real age or, my real location. But point being, it was very easy to get kids to talk to you on the internet. Like it's a lot different now. I feel like there's a lot more kids are they know better. They still do it, but I think that they know a little more nowadays than we did when we were younger. But shoot. Yeah, the you got mailed. Oh man, all of it. Memories. The dial up. Gosh. That's like an ASMR sound. I should put that on a video. Just kidding.
social media. So it's always good to have that awareness and to make.
Oh, and one other thing. I wonder if Sebastian had a computer for school or like an iPad. You know how some schools they require it, or they'll give the kids like one and they just rent it or something like that. I wonder if he had one of those. I know they would have checked it, but I'm just curious to see, if they would what they found, if he
Make
had
sure you're
one.
monitoring, what your kids are doing. So I had asked you both, did you have any idea what would make Sebastian want to suddenly leave the house? And you told me, well, that's the $1 million question that everybody wants to know. All the detectives, they've all asked that same question. What is it that happened that caused him to leave the house? And I know you must be so worried and so concerned. Is there anything, if Sebastian were listening to this live stream right now, if you knew that he was out there, what would you want to tell him?
That we love you and to come home.
I mean, it's pretty simple. This boy has a very large family that everybody is asking the question, where are you? We love you, and please come home.
Yes.
Oh.
We definitely need to find him as soon as possible. If you live in this area, please search your property every day. He could be on the move. Just because you've already searched your property one time doesn't mean that you don't need to continue to search your property on a daily basis, just to be sure. If you have a lot of land, it needs to be searched, just to
Yeah.
be sure, because he may be lost. He may be
Absolutely.
somewhere and he can't find his way back. So that's why it's very critical. Can you talk to me about the search and rescue efforts? Are they searching on land, air? They also have dive teams there. What can you tell us about that?
So this is where I believe we want to listen in. So you know how everyone goes around saying that Chris Proudfoot said this is a case that they're going to study for years. We're going to hear exactly what he says right now.
Currently, as of today, the National Guard was also brought in to help with the search, but they have had fixed wing aircraft, helicopters, horseback ATVs, side by side, door to door, scouring every neighborhood possible. I mean, the outreach from the community and various counties has been extremely welcoming, loved. I mean, we've been told this is probably one of the largest searches that they've conducted, with so much input that it's a case to be studied for sure.
You have a lot of people that.
So that was like completely different than this is a case they're going to be studying for years to come. I'll rewind it a little bit.
We've been told this is probably one of the largest searches that they've conducted with.
We've been told this is one of the largest searches that they've conducted.
So much input that it's a case to be studied for sure.
You have a lot of people that are praying.
And in my opinion, that means like when they have new hires, new cadets in, they're going to train them to know how to look for these things, look for autistic kids, look for, different, because I mean, there are different things to look for in a kid that's not, non-autistic, that's just a runaway, or if it's an autistic kid versus an autistic kid that's like eloping.
And supporting you right now. Was his ask, would he be able to ride a city bus?
Nothing is off the table as far as abilities. Could the young man get on a bus? I'm sure he could.
We've never done it before.
We've never rode a city bus, so I don't think he understands the process. He doesn't have any.
I'd say no. I don't know if I could ride a city bus.
Sense of money. He may have, let's say, a $20 bill in his hand, but he doesn't truly understand what $20 would get him.
He's good,
right?
But he doesn't
I understand
time and money.
And single mom says, does he want his real father? Maybe. I'm just asking. Well, it turns out, single mom, that, he sees his real father every other weekend. And the real father, he is heavily involved in this situation and is aware. And he doesn't know where Sebastian is either, correct?
Listen to
Correct.
that.
I mean, I can tell you this.
His father's very much involved in his life.
Yes, very much involved in his life. The relationship between all three of us as parents is not your common one. I mean, me and the father talk on a regular basis. We call each other. We talk. Hey, if we heard anything, how's he doing? Is he acting up? I mean, it's not. There's no really animosity in between the parents.
That's good. That's good. Discovering the truth. Thank you for being here. They say, did he have any special interest, like trains, parks, friends, maybe a school bus route that he loved? My son elopes and loves trains, so he heads to the tracks.
He loves playgrounds.
Yeah, he loves playgrounds. I mean, he loves to play. I'll give him that. Friends wise,
He wants friends.
Sebastian, his idea of his friend is right now is what he.
That breaks my heart. Oh, that broke my heart. Oh my gosh, that broke my heart. He wants friends. We all do at that age, He's definitely not alone. Like 15 that's a rough year,
He has two kids that he talks to at school, but he is extremely socially awkward. And so it's very difficult for him to make friends, which has been this boy's only lifelong dream. Christmas, what do you want for Christmas? I want friends. Birthday, I want friends. Anything that he could do to get a friend, he would love to do it, which is potentially dangerous because that could open up doors for somebody to say, hey, I'll be your friend, and potentially cause harm.
Wow. Yeah, it does.
Kim Holmes asked if there's any cameras in the area. And I did see, Kim, that they were asking for people that had any Ring doorbell footage or any businesses that had camera footage. Talk to us about that, Chris. We did speak about that briefly earlier about the people getting all the footage, but they haven't found anything.
Our entire neighborhood and surrounding neighborhoods have voluntarily and with generosity given up any video footage that they've got. And, I mean, they have let the departments come in and view and monitor. So as far as cameras, everybody has turned over everything. There's thousands of hours of stuff that they are combing through to try to find an answer.
It looks like Tish is local to the area. She said, I go to the grocery store or anywhere and our eyes are peeled looking for him. I work at a local restaurant and I'm checking cars as they come through the drive-thru every day. Bless you, Tish. I know this family is very grateful. Discovering the Truth says, so he probably knows the route to his father's house. So maybe he was in the process of heading in that direction.
That has not been ruled out. I mean, like I said, the search that they are conducting is extremely widespread and thorough. So nobody is ruling that out as a possibility.
But normally when he wants to go to his dad's, he just says so. And we just call his dad.
Yeah, I mean, dad will come down here. We meet him halfway. I mean, he's never wanted to go to his dad's and not been able to go. Let's put it that way.
Right.
That's good parenting.
Thank you for being a member for 6 months.
That's good parenting. That means there's been times where Sebastian's wanted to go and see his dad and it wasn't his day to see him. This is what I am interpreting this as. And Katie and Chris have made sure that they took him or met him halfway, so that he could see his dad and hang out with his dad. That's what I think.
Months. All of this is very, very helpful to help us, better understand the situation that we're dealing with. And I did see a post on Facebook that it looked like everybody was asked to wear green on Friday because green is Sebastian's favorite color. What else can you tell us about Sebastian?
He's an avid Minecraft fan. Loves the color green. It's got the goofiest and quirky smile in the world. I don't think anybody could mimic it, to be honest with you.
He looks like he's such a sweet young man. He
loves to dance. That boy he'll dance his tail off.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. Dancing is good for you. It's good exercise too. I just really hope they can find some answers. Now, I did ask you guys because I know that sometimes when we're looking for autistic children that go missing, a lot of times people are concerned that they may be attracted to go towards the water. So talk to us about that. Is he a good swimmer? Does he like to get in the water? I think you did mention some things about that to me earlier.
So he's a fish in the water. I'm gonna tell you right now that but here's the distinction. He is not a child that likes to get dirty. He can't stand his hands dirty. He can't stand bugs. He is fearful of flies and things. So if he swims, he is a pool kid. He's not I'm a river and a stream kind of kid. He is swimming pool bound.
Mm-hmm. That sounds like me.
Discovering the truth. I'm sure that they are probably looking into that. Now, I know that you said there was some misinformation that was going around and you wanted to make a clarification. You did tell me that TBI, was assisting, but that there was some confusion. People thought that FBI was actually assisting in this case. Talk to me about what you spoke about earlier to me on our phone call about how FBI is, that they were consulted and the card team, I guess there is a discussion going on as to whether he qualifies as, for the child abduction response team.
So the FBI is not physically on the ground. Somewhere in one of the news clips, I think it was reported that the FBI had made it on the ground. They're not. TBI, Tennessee Bureau of Investigations, has reached out to the behavioral analysis team or their CART team, and they are trying to work with them from a distance. They're not physically present, to help in any way, form, shape that they can render their assistance.
Okay. Light and sound, thank you for being here. Have burner phones been looked into? I know some teens sneak phones from their parents or maybe his computer use at school to see if he has been chatting.
Evidence of a secret phone.
Okay, good. Because digital evidence is really important. They want to make sure that he's not speaking to anybody. This is such an unusual case.
This case is extremely unusual. Like I said before, we are pretty strict when it comes to certain things. As far as comms, communication, electronic devices, there was only one phone that he had. It was extremely locked down. He had access to his phone, his text message to only his contacts list, a camera, and a calculator, and that is it.
He's a pretty happy kid usually.
He seems like it, and I know that you love him very much. I know that I can remember earlier in our conversation, you were referring to him as Bubba, and I think that's sweet. I call my son Bubba also, so that really tore at my heartstrings because my son, he's 30, but he's still Bubba to me. So that name is going to stick forever. It's just how it is. Cindy Caton, thank you for being here. She says, are there any old wells that maybe he accidentally fell in?
Let me know what your childhood nicknames were. Mine was Winnie, like off of Growing Pains. My aunt, my uncle, my dad, they all called me Winnie, and I never knew who it was for the longest time. But when I was younger, I think because of the long brown hair I had.
Or any areas or mines that he might be at risk of coming in contact with. I know sometimes those things occur out in Tennessee. The divers, have they found any possible leads? I know that I heard that there was a possible pond that they were draining. You did tell me they were searching all of the pipes.
Yes. So when it comes to address her question as far as wells and things, I'm sure there's plenty of those around here.
They're searching them.
They actually pulled data for all the caves, underground voids, all of that stuff that could be accessible. They brought in teams from all over the state that specialize in either cave explorations, water recovery rescues. We don't know that they have drained a pond. I can say that much, but they have searched, they've dived them all for sure. They've walked, I couldn't tell you how many miles of creeks and waterways, and they've used cameras. The sewers.
Wow.
It's not really the sewers they're looking in. It's the drainage pipes. So that's for clarification. Sewer pipes, we're not going to find a child in. Those are enclosed and secured. But the runoff, water runoffs, were all searched by a dive team.
Okay. And I know
I remember somebody mentioning that on a live, not too long ago. Like, did they check there? I knew that they probably did. I mean, obviously, but right there it says it.
Ginger Snap said, is law enforcement looking into the possibility that he met a friend through Minecraft? I hope that they would just go ahead and vet all of that just to make sure, because you never know. I'm not really sure how all that works because I'm not a gamer, but I know that there are ways that you can communicate like via Xbox because my son is a gamer. So, and Gabrielle, I believe that you guys were at the Costco on Saturday. That's when you took the picture of him, correct?
Yes, my
Okay.
wife was at Costco on Saturday.
Yeah,
The
not
shirt
Sunday.
that's in the flyer where it says Optimism was on a Saturday. They were
Okay,
at
good.
BJ's on Sunday. Um,
Okay. And what
and when
is
it
that?
comes
Is that a
to
restaurant or?
no, they are all wholesale, like a commissary style stores where they sell in bulk.
Oh, okay. Okay. So Costco
So
Saturday, BJ's on Sunday.
yes,
He
ma'am.
loves to eat all the samples, and BJ's is new, so I took him.
You're a good mom.
And when it comes to like the one mentioned about Minecraft, like I stated before, he does not have any way to come with anybody on any form of online gaming. That is extremely restrictive. We don't allow that because of what can come of it.
They combed all of the electronics.
I can tell you this with no hesitation: anything and everything we have given to the police and any other law enforcement to have them completely scan, validate everything, and they are currently. I mean, everything is empty. I mean, they were like, "You guys are pretty good at." I said, "Yes, sir. We don't believe in allowing the kids to communicate through social media or through any type of gaming."
Looks like Missing in USA says, why are they wanting camera footage from Sunday afternoon? Because
That we cannot release right now.
Okay,
That is not
I
something that
understand.
has been authorized us to
Right,
put
I
up to the public.
and we respect that 100%. Ginger Snap says, I was reading that his favorite song is Eye of the Tiger. That's a great song.
He's got an eclectic taste of music. He's a fan
I
of
sing
Eddie
it every
Vedder.
time.
He
Oh, well,
likes
he's great.
Survivor. Oh yeah, I mean young man has a very eclectic taste in music.
And you told me that
Taylor
he
Swift,
loves to play chess.
Carrie Underwood.
Carrie Underwood.
And he loves to play chess,
He has a
right?
crush on Taylor Swift.
Ooh, he has a, oh, well, her boyfriend better watch out then. Was 911 allowed to be called, Rhonda asks.
On the cell phone, is that what she's referring to?
Yes, I believe so. Is that what you're asking,
All
Rhonda?
all devices that have communications have the ability to call 911. Believe it or not, most cell phones that are not even connected to service have an ability to actually call 911.
Yeah, you can pick one up off the shelf at a store and most will call.
Yeah, that's become a federal thing. That's not a service provided. That is like a federal thing.
Right.
Trevor Lee, you better not be at the local Walmart calling 911 on the cell phones displays. How would you know that?
He restrict safety features, even if we could.
Yeah, safety is not restricted in this house.
Okay, I do have one other question before I read what was his is saying. There was something I was going to ask you. Let's go ahead and do was his question right now. Shackle Island Road and New Shackle Island Road, are they in the same area?
New Shackle Island Road runs parallel to Long Island. Old Shackle Island Road is actually farther directionally. It would actually be south in front of the hospital, the Hendersonville Hospital. That is roughly, I think, 4 or 5 miles from our house.
Okay. Okay. That Single Mom, that's your favorite song too. Now, something I do want to ask you is because I've been watching social media because that's what I do. I share missing cases on lots of different social media platforms. And I was very disappointed when you told me that people were harassing you and attacking you. Is there anything that you want to put to rest while you're here tonight or make clear to the public about this situation? I know you told me there was a statement that you wanted me to make about you and the mom and the dad. So if you want to make any clarification about that, you have free reign to do so. We will not allow you to be disrespected here on this platform.
I have no malice or ill intent toward anybody. Everybody has an opinion.
Of course.
But what is factual is that the father, the mother, and myself have been extremely cooperative. We have been vetted. We have been checked out. We have been questioned and everything of that nature, and literally have been cleared. There is no wrongdoing. There is no negative input from the parents or any of the family. And it's hard for a lot of folks. I mean, I will be honest and say this out loud. I have a custody case that is currently going on in another state, which has been brought to public light because people feel that they want to judge and think that they understand what's currently going on, and they don't. Because of that, I am being looked at in a very foul way. I don't need to repeat anything that's being said, but
Right.
you know,
But
And it's
people that are,
perfectly
there's
okay.
people that's probably seen it on social media, and I want you to be able to have the opportunity to defend yourself. We have 248 people watching right now, and I'm sure that anyone that's watching this on the live stream, please respect this family. I mean, you can't have an idea of possibly what they are going through, and it's really not any of your business what is
I'm gonna rewind that
going
back.
on. Please respect social media, and I want you to be able to have the opportunity to defend yourself. We have 248 people watching right now, and I'm sure that anyone that's watching this on the live stream, please respect this family. I mean, you can't have an idea of possibly what they are going through, and it's really not any of your business what is going on. And I understand that you do see your other child, which, and that doesn't have anything to do with Sebastian. And you guys are on good terms with his father. There's not like there's any custody battle between the mother and Sebastian's father. I mean, obviously, if he wants to see his father, you guys told me that, you just plan to meet up, and it's no big deal. So I've read a couple of heinous things that people are saying, and it just really upsets me to know that people are just going to that without having all of the information and knowing that law enforcement has interviewed, interrogated everyone in your family. They have looked into you. They have all of your devices, and that they basically cleared you guys of any involvement in Sebastian's disappearance. And I just wanted the public to be able to hear you say that, because you do have the right to defend yourself. Because it's not like you said earlier, it's not about you, it's about finding Sebastian.
Correct.
Yes.
And I just don't want to have people to be dragging you around on social media. Isn't it already difficult enough that your child is missing?
That's beyond words. This is a feeling that I'm gonna tell you right now. I don't care.
Wish this on
Nobody should ever have to endure. It is not something that should ever be wished upon for anyone.
Now, I do see Miranda. Miranda has a child that is special needs as well. And we've covered a case on my channel involving her child in the school system here on my platform. So Miranda is a very strong advocate for kids that have special needs and them getting fair and equal treatment. And she says, how is his skills on walking around on heels or without a trail? Because my son would stumble if he had to step over a 1-inch rock or any form of incline.
Me too.
So, I mean, is he able to walk good? How is he able to navigate on his own? Is he able to walk good? Can you hear me?
Did we lose him for a minute? You can hear the pain from Katie.
Did I lose you guys? Can you hear me?
And this is the first time they've been on a panel too, so
Chris, are you there? Can you hear me?
Duchess is like, where are you at?
Trev, are you there? Can you hear
Yeah,
me?
I can hear you.
Okay, maybe Chris lost signal. We'll give him a few minutes to come back. They may have had
I love
to
StreamYard.
mute out. Thank you, FarQ. I appreciate it. Chris, we're not able to hear you. They may have gotten cut out with their Wi-Fi service. So if you need to come back, please let us know. I'm going to go over here to the chat while we wait for Chris. They may have had a phone call or something to come in, so we'll give them a few minutes. No rush. Discovering the Truth said, when my son was nonverbal, he had a speech device that was supposedly blocked from the company, so he couldn't go to any websites, and somehow he bypassed it. They're smarter than you think. Wow, Discovering the Truth. That is incredible.
They are smart.
And he's a high-functioning autistic young man. So they have and look, Chris dropped. He must have lost his signal, guys, but he'll probably come back. Here he is. Here he is.
Look at that.
Chris, can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Okay, that's like a Verizon commercial.
I was just gonna say that.
I figured you might have lost signal.
Yeah, it's okay. We're
the Verizon commercials.
we'll figure it out. We get it back every once in a while.
Okay, yeah, I understand. I understand.
He's high functioning. I mean, he's fully able to hold a conversation, and he walks, and he loves to run.
Okay, well, that's good. And Rhonda wants to know if he has a special button on his phone.
No.
On his phone?
I don't. Mm-mm.
Okay.
But he doesn't have his phone.
Yeah, and he left his phone at home, so he doesn't have it. Says, I'm local and I'm trying to get a direction. Thank you. And says something about exit 5. Are you guys close to exit 5?
No, well, that depends. You can access off of what they call New Shackle Island Road, which I believe is exit 6.
Yes, I see. Thank you, Mrs. Clem.
Yeah, I believe it's exit 6 and exit 7 will be in Indian Lake. But as far as the special button on his phone, I'm not sure what you mean by that.
Yeah, me either. And I know Discovering the
think-
Truth said that, her child was
I think they meant one of those buttons, like, when you hit like certain buttons on your phone. I should know this because I have it set up, but it'll an emergency call. So like if on my watch, I think it's like if you hit these 2 buttons, maybe at the same time. Okay, well, it's supposed to. Oh, I just turned it off. That's how you turn off your watch. No, but there's a way to do it to where it's like an emergency call. I think it's the opposite way than I was doing it. But let me turn that back on. Let me figure out how to turn this thing back on. I've had it for 6 months. There we go. I don't think I've ever turned it off.
able to get around the security system that they had kind of set up on the phone, so they couldn't access the websites, that it was locked. And apparently he got around it and was able to access it. And I guess that's kind of what they were talking about, in a couple of the texts in the chat. So that's what I was trying to address, because a lot of the people that come to my streams, they have children that are also autistic. So they deal with a lot of situations, and they can understand some of the things that you maybe be dealing with at this moment. I can only imagine what you're going through, not knowing where he is.
We, without publicizing our address, best I can tell you is we are off by the beach area, and that kind of area is where they've predominantly been focusing their searches.
Right.
When it comes to the special button, no. Just so some parents are aware, even if you lock down your child's phone, some children can actually turn their phone into safe mode, which would bypass the parental locks and then allow a child to go on the internet. There is a way to block that. You would have to look that up. That's too much in depth to go into. But no, I mean, when I say we're strict, we lock it down. We lock it down.
Okay, well, that's good to know. David Bryant, thank you so much for being here. David says, hey, one question. Do you think he would have stuck to roads, or do you think he could have went off into the wooded areas?
That is, that's hard to say. We don't really have an answer, but all I can say is every avenue is being searched, regardless of woods, roads, anything. Everything that can be searched is currently being searched.
Reckless Ellis, thank you for being here. Reckless Ellis says, I'm not saying he did this whatsoever, but I did see a screenshot from Facebook where he yelled at the news and told them to get off his property. Is there any truth to that? Well, Reckless, I'll let them speak for themselves, but if the news was on my property, I might yell at them to get off my property too.
I would.
So
was it the news or was it JLR? Now let's be clear, because he was there in the area.
I have not spoken to any news crew that have been physically on my property. I have spoken to a news crew that was down the street and just asked them politely, do not film my house. They were filming the police doing something, and that was perfectly okay. They gave me the words, we shook hands, and politely moved on. So,
did you hear that? Gentleman's handshake. It's a legal binding contract. I say it is, and apparently he believes so too. Vincent never knew what that meant. I had to tell him what that meant one time.
No, I mean, as far as yelling at the news, no.
Okay, well, thank you for clarifying that. I hope that helps, Reckless Ellis, and thank you so much for being here. Let's see. That's right, Leave It to Beaver. These are real people. Focus on the missing baby. Exactly. Thank you for being here, Miss Chewy. It's so good to see you.
I have a question for you, Duchess. When you were doing this interview, did you have to get rid of a lot of comments? Because now I couldn't even imagine the chats now, and the comments that get deleted. I see them when I'm in other chats. But did you have any problems back then? Because this was the first interview, I wonder.
That's right. We all know that the child is in danger and needs to be home where he's safe. And that's all we need to know. I just want to make sure that people understand, this family is really going through it. And the focus needs to be on the child. So, and we just appreciate anyone that's able to get out there. Now, do they also have search dogs that have been out helping assist in the search?
Yes, ma'am. They have brought in dogs from various locations, from I believe from even other states, as well as other areas within the state. So it is deeply, deeply being checked.
Okay, I'm going back over here. I see David Bryant's left another comment in chat. Okay, gotcha. We'll keep searching, praying for your families. I just posted multiple pictures from what my dog has found searching, and you can feel free to reach out if you would like me to search anywhere. So it sounds like David may have some search dogs himself. David, if you want to send me an email or reach out to me with Facebook Messenger, if you have any information that you would like for me to pass on to the family, I'll be more than happy to do that, and we appreciate that so very much. Jennifer Jennings, thank you for being here. Jennifer says, how long has he been married to the mom? Isn't he Seth's son? Who is searching for this boy, mom, dad, or who? Well, it sounds like there's a lot of people involved, including the mother, the father, the stepfather, and law enforcement. When you say how long has he been married to the mom, are you referring to Chris on panel? Julio, thank you so much for being here. Chris always treated my girls and son with nothing but kindness when we worked together. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here, Julio. I know that probably means a lot to him.
Wow, that's really nice.
That's right, Jennifer. I think everybody is searching. It doesn't sound like there's any animosity with anybody that's going on here. So, and please be.
And I don't think that there probably was animosity. I think that Katie let Chris probably do more of the talking when it came to Seth, because she didn't want there to be animosity. Like, you know, I think she probably maybe felt a little something about him, but I don't think that she would have told him to his face. Do you know what I mean? I think that they were all in a working relationship. I think what happened was YouTube, like their child going missing, and then the stress of not only your child's missing, I mean, but you have hundreds, thousands of people talk about you daily, thousands on the internet, all over the place. Just imagine thousands. Imagine there's like 10 of them, right? It's almost like a group that they have, you know, almost like an enterprise. But there's a group of people and they'll go live 2-3 times a day. And there's like 10 of them. So that's a lot of people hearing this stuff.
Be respectful in the chat. If you want to come in here and attack the family, the moderators can show you to the door. There's no need to announce your departure. Light and Sound says, I pray he wasn't being bullied at school. I imagine classmates who knew him have been interviewed. And yes, I do believe Chris said that earlier. And did he typically take his phone places with him, guys, or did he normally leave it at home?
Believe it or not, it was actually a struggle to get him to carry his phone. He's not like your typical teenager. He's not these kids that, you know, got to stick their head in the phone. He's not
glued to it.
He's not, you know, because of his restrictions, you know, he knows that what it's for. It's a tool. It's not an entertainment device. I mean, he had his struggles with doing basic, simple things. And I mean, it was a constant reminder, a constant this. And all three parents have been extremely positive and constantly trying to get him like, hey, we got to do this, bud. We got to do that.
Take your phone.
Take your phone.
Teach him to be responsible and to think about it.
You know, and then Julio, I can contest. I mean, we work together out in San Diego, so he's amazing.
I think that's wonderful.
That's real sweet.
Let me just take care of something here in chat real quick. Jennifer, I appreciate you being here. We welcome all opinions, but we're just how long he's been married to the mother is irrelevant with Sebastian being missing. So I hope that you have a wonderful night, but respectfully, I'm going to have to remove you from chat because it's a distraction.
What? Oh my God. So if you were with me last night, there are people that are just, there are people out there, y'all. Let me get me on camera. Cause like, I don't even know where I'm at right now. I don't even know where I'm at. There are people out there that ask the dumbest things. They say they do. How long they've been married? Who cares? Is that relevant? Just like last night when Stephen Crabtree, you know, and the urine test thing with him is the same thing. I feel like it's just this whole, like, you have to pee on camera. What he peed on, he was turned around. He literally was like this. And some lady in the comment section was like, he didn't do it on camera. What? It's YouTube. He can't do that. That's against terms of service. Hello. That's TikTok Tony. But I mean, that's what it reminded me of.
And we are focused on talking about Sebastian and about his case. And I hope you have a wonderful night. And please come back again. Okay, let's get back over here to the chat. I try to not get distracted when we have these situations, but we just don't have time for that. I'm not going to allow disrespect. And my moderators know that. So I appreciate my mods in here. Y'all put some hearts and hands up for the moderators in here. They're doing a fantastic job. We have 363 people in here watching right now. If you haven't already hit the like button, please do that and share this out, because it helps to get Sebastian Rogers' information circulating on social media. People are going to want to know what the parents have to say. I think it's very important that people hear the facts straight from Sebastian's family. 80 says, I'm autistic myself, and as a kid, I used to have restricted internet access, and I've managed to bypass it before. That doesn't shock me, because I have a cousin that has the same thing has happened. I think it's different for every kid, because there's such a spectrum. There's such a spectrum. So that's why we have to be on high alert. This is a vigilant, important situation, because we really don't know the circumstances of what has actually transpired with Sebastian, and he could be in danger. And I see Burton Staggs here. Burton, thank you so much for coming over. He says there's two similar cases. A Mississippi autistic teen was missing and found 9 days later in Tennessee. He walked.
Wow.
In Arizona, an autistic teen walked approximately 200 miles and was found safe. Incredible.
Can you imagine that?
Does he have a lot of energy? Does he like to go on long walks and things like that?
Especially off his medicine.
I really would like
He did stay off
to
his medicine. So she did mention his medicine, like he was on it for, a time to where like he would need it. Do you know what I mean? Like so
a billboard up for Sebastian.
Not like necessarily to live, but you know what I mean? To feel good, like to function. He might not feel like himself.
And I think I had mentioned that to you earlier. Do you think that this might be something that would benefit Sebastian to get his face out there if we could get a couple of billboards? Guys, give me some feedback in the chat and let me know what you think. I might could, crowdfund. That's what membership is for. When you guys are members of this channel, that's actually where your money goes, is to these little crowdsourcing things that I do. So I have some money already put back that I can put forward to it, but I probably wouldn't be able to keep it up for more than just a few days, because it can get expensive. But what do you guys think about that? Do you think, Trev, what are your thoughts about that? Do you think that having a billboard up for Sebastian might be beneficial?
I think so. I mean, it's, we've looked at that in plenty of cases, and you and I have spoken about that before, talked with, different families. It's, at the very least, it's keeping that face and that story in the public eye. It's keeping people reminded of what's going on in their community, what's going on locally, what's going on the next county over, whether they work there, live there, travel through there, they're seeing it.
Well, I can certainly design a billboard. We can work together behind the scenes. You can send me a picture and let me know exactly what you would like it to say, and we can get something started on a blip as early as tomorrow. Wow. If you think that that's going to be something, I will look at the locations and I can let you know where they're at, and we can try to get something going. Cold Case Crystal, thank you so much for being here. That's another person that's on my team that covers cases, and she's in Kentucky. And Crystal, did you just send me a Cash App? Cold Case Crystal, thank you so much for sending me that, and I will definitely put it for the billboard. We're still going to put up some billboards for Jaden Carpenter, so you and I need to get together in the next couple of days so we can get these billboards up as soon as possible, because we need to help find Sebastian. Is there anything else that you guys want to share with us that you think that we need to know about the circumstances involving Sebastian going missing? Is there anything that you want to share with us that we have not talked about? I'm going to put a flyer again here so you guys can take another look at that.
I mean, everything that we've covered so far, I mean, is exactly everything that we've covered. We miss him and we want him home.
Exactly.
I'd rather be home.
I don't hear murderous woman when I don't hear it in her voice.
Mods, thank you for checking
Breaks my heart.
the chat. Alan, we're definitely not going to tolerate that.
Just think about this for a second. Just think about this for 1 second. Like, I just pretend, like, just put everything aside that you feel about, about anybody in this case, whether it's Seth, whether it's Chris, whether it's Katie, whether it's whatever. Imagine Sebastian comes home tomorrow and he was abducted. And they get him back, but they don't want to talk to news or anything. They just want to go back to their life, and they're allowed to do that. Do you think any of the creators that sat here for almost 1 full year, next month it'll be 1 year. So for 1 full year, every day, do you think those creators that have been streaming this every single day are going to apologize, put out a video saying, I'm sorry to any of the family? Seth, Chris, Katie? No, I'm going to tell you right now, they're not. They're going to delete the videos. Well, they won't delete them because they want the money. They're going to private the videos so they still get the views that they had on them. And then they're going to move on to the next case. They're going to do this in the next case. So just be careful where you get your information from. And this is a good place to get your information from. Duchess, you did a really good job on this interview. The parts I had already heard before were good, but the whole interview has been really good.
So,
Alan's gone. I got rid of Alan. He's gone.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Trev.
And Duchess, if I may, while we still have the family up,
Yes.
people in cases like this, guys, and this is for anybody listening now, watching later. However, everybody in their mind has an idea of how a family or how those who know a missing person should react. Should they go and talk to these people this day and say these things this day, or what they don't? The thing is here is law enforcement goes and talks to these people, guys. Plenty of families in these situations, unfortunately, but law enforcement goes and talks to these people. They don't owe us answers, no matter how curious we get. There's no timetable of when they should stand in front of a camera, or when you should put a microphone in front of them, when they should join this, that, and the other.
Absolutely.
Now, if they bring that to us, then we should sit back and listen and let them tell their story. But what matters is answering who they need to answer to, and that's not us. That's not me. That's not Duchess. That's not you guys. The chief deputy, I believe Chief Deputy Craddock is his name, has been very clear in his press conferences that the family is fully cooperative and there have been zero signs of foul play. Now, if the TBI and the local authorities are saying that there is no sign of foul play, then it is completely irresponsible to make things up. On the contrary, there are cases where you have to look at the home and you look at the family. This is not one of them. We have to look at what's true. And what's true is this 15-year-old boy is missing from his home. He has been missing and he is still missing. And what matters is bringing him home safe to his family, who was kind enough to join us tonight and answer your questions. So while nobody has to believe any certain thing, we need to respect what we're told by those who are in charge. And so just remember that as we go through this case and any case you listen to.
And I support this message. Thank you, Trev. That was very well said, and I appreciate you saying that. We just need to be respectful. There's things that the family want to share, and there's things that they're not obligated to share any information, but they desperately want to find their child. And I want to give them a safe place to be able to come here and share the information that they want us to know, so that we can get it out there on social media, that we know what the facts are, that we've heard it directly from the family, so we know what the misinformation is. Like they told us earlier, the FBI is not on the ground searching for Sebastian. Yes, the card team was contacted and they were, they were spoken to, but they're not active. And there's people putting that on social media. The facts matter. We're not going to solve the case. It's for law enforcement. We have to let them do their job. So there's no need to come into this live stream and throw accusations around and disrespect this family, period.
Absolutely.
If you have a problem,
it doesn't help. Sebastian's still missing, and he is without his medication. He is not he's not in his home. He is missing. He is likely very scared and unsure of his circumstances, and he is endangered at this moment. So I think 100% of the efforts and emotions should be put towards finding him. He deserves to be home. And if you, in taking the time to just mislead and say false things, and wherever you may go, leave your opinions at the door, because it's about bringing this child home.
Do you think that, because this was right around Maddie Soto, same time frame, do you think because people were so mad about Jen Soto getting off, like people thought she was guilty of something, and in reality she was guilty of a lot of things. I mean, she knew everything. Do you think that they took that anger that they couldn't give to Jen because Jen wasn't going to jail? She got a deal, a sweetheart deal. Maybe they just redirected all that anger to like Katie and Chris, because I don't see it as much on Seth's side. I do see creators go after Seth. I'm not going to say I don't, but for the most part, they go after their words. When I see people in chats with Chris and Katie, they are going after everything down to their last name. I've said it a million times, and I'll say it one more time for people that in the back. Just because there's two of them doesn't make their name change. Their name is Proudfoot, not Proud Feet. People have been calling them the Proud Feets that hang out with them. I'm like, y'all hang out with them, and you're calling them the Proud Feets. Clue and Cletus, I'm talking about y'all over there. I'm like, it's Proudfoot. Proudfoot. Proudfoot.
Thank you, Stacey. We appreciate your prayers. Yes, Mary, that is true. There is
Proud
an
feet.
anonymous group
She
of
says it all the
Nashville
time.
business owners that have started a reward fund for Sebastian, and that is $3,000. So we want to thank those anonymous business owners for doing that. That's an amazing thing to do. I did ask the family if there was any of the reward funds that were going to be activated at this time, and there are not. And that's all they're going to say on that. And the families are entitled to privacy, Ginger Snaps, absolutely. And they are entitled to respect, and they will get it in this house. Now, Janeth, I appreciate you
like
being here.
that.
How did they know he took a flashlight? Well, I asked that very same question today, and I was so glad that Sebastian's mother explained it to me, because when I read that news article,
here.
I was like, well, how did they know he had a flashlight? Do you want to tell us about that?
One of the first things that was asked is because he left when it was very dark outside, was if he might have taken a flashlight. And he actually has one that he plays with regularly, and I can't find it. So it's likely that he took it.
Okay. Jason asks, thank you for being here, Jason.
Well, I want to hear that one more time.
Plays with regularly because he left when it was very dark outside, was if he might have taken a flashlight. And he actually has one that he plays with regularly, and I can't find it.
Okay.
So it's likely that he took it.
Okay. Jason asks, thank you for being here, Jason. Does he have anything that he holds on to? Anything that he has to have with him at all times? Something that keeps him calm when he has it?
Good question.
He has
Jason.
various fidgets that he changes out and plays with.
Have you noticed any of those are missing as well?
Honestly, it'd be impossible to tell. He plays with paper clips and pennies
I
and
would say
Legos.
anything could be a
Things
fidget,
that
like a rubber band.
several could go missing and it wouldn't be noticeable.
Okay. Please put some green hearts and prayer hands in the chat for this family, because today is 7 days, and this is a critical time that we need to come together and
7 days. Wow.
stop attacking the family.
How
If
many
you can't
days
do
is
something productive, like just sit on your hands or something, I don't know. And Trev, I do appreciate all that you've done. Trev has been sharing information every day. He has been doing live streams, and you guys definitely.
This is day 7. We're on day 313. Wow.
Definitely need to connect.
Crazy.
I will put you guys in touch with each other, because he's local to Tennessee, and I know that he will be able to help in any way that he can. And we will definitely connect this week, and we will, if not tonight, then tomorrow, so we can get those billboards up. I will get with Crystal later, and we'll talk about that and try to get those worked out as soon as possible. Is there anything else that you want us to share? Is there anything else that you think that we have not covered, Trev? Is there anything that you want to add to this conversation that you feel that we've missed?
Well, I just want to encourage people to keep going. It's, keep the hope up and keep sharing his picture, keep sharing his story, keep sharing his flyer, keep praying that he returns, and keep listening to what we're told by authorities, because they're out there looking and they haven't stopped and they won't. We all play our part in different ways. If you're on social media, simply sharing his flyer. If you're here on YouTube, simply interacting with a video that has his information. Whatever it is, do it for Sebastian. Because until he's brought home, that's the mission, that's the goal, and that's the fight. And that's what we'll do, standing beside this family and beside those looking and beside Sebastian until he comes home.
Absolutely.
That's how it should be.
Absolutely. And that's the end goal. So if you see this flyer on social media, you guys can share this from my YouTube community wall, from Trev's. You can share it from our Facebook pages. I'm sure Arctic Fox also has it on his page. Whatever we can do to try to help your family, please reach out to me and let me know. And we have a wonderful group of people in this community that will try to do whatever we can. And hopefully I'll hear something from Wings of Hope and they'll let me know if they're going to be able to try to assist. David Bryant, thank you so much for your super chat. He said, we're going to find him. Keep your head up and hug him tight when he gets back. Prayers for y'all. Everyone keep searching and doing what we can. David, I appreciate that. I'm going to take that $50 and I'm going to put it towards that billboard that I'm going to design. We're going to get that up for Sebastian as soon as we can. I really appreciate you donating. It means so much.
Yeah, billboards are a great idea.
Well, guys, I really appreciate you joining us. If you have any updates that you want to share with us, please don't hesitate to reach out. If there's something that you want to share, if you want me to have another live stream, you may want to have a live stream with Trev. He has a large following on his channel, and some of those people don't necessarily follow my stream. So I'm sure they might, want to talk to you. And so we can continue to share out Sebastian's information, and you'll be on my prayer list. If you need anything, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'll even share my phone number with you. And if there's anything that you need, you can call me.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Gosh.
Deep breaths. Deep breaths. It's just sometimes you got to take it a day at a time, but sometimes you can only take it an hour at a time or 5 minutes at a time. And you don't have to explain yourself to anybody because you don't know how you're going to feel until you're going through it. And how you process things is not necessarily going to be how the next person does. But you don't owe anybody an explanation. Just know that our hearts are with you. And you have a lot of people. Look at all of these people. We have 400 people watching this live stream right now. There are so many people that are out here supporting. Don't listen to these naysayers.
We just want to say thank you to everyone who's working with us to try and bring him home.
And everybody for all your support and your prayers and your love.
You are more than welcome. You are more than welcome. That's what we're here to do. Is we're here to lift each other up.
Sad.
It takes a village.
Absolutely.
It takes a village, and that's what we have to do. We're just here to help each other out. And I really just appreciate you being willing to come here and share Sebastian's story with us. And we'll be thinking of you and continuing to pray and share his information. And I'm going to let you guys go because you've been up here for over an hour, and I don't want to keep you any longer. I want you guys to go take care of yourself. Remember to take care of yourself. Make sure you're eating and getting enough rest and doing what you need to do to keep yourself going. Because it's not easy. It can't be easy.
It's not by any means.
Chris, you're a good man. You're being so strong for her, and that just it makes me feel emotional, because this has got to be so difficult. And it's just one day at a time. But I'm praying that you're going to get answers as soon as possible. You have a lot of people that are working very hard to find your son. Miranda said outside his home, where's his most comfortable environment? Does he have a place like that?
His house.
The only place he likes to be is just at his house.
He likes his house. He likes both houses, and he likes. His favorite thing to do is go play on the playground, and he likes to.
He loves being around the family. He loves, just being a kid.
He's not very outdoorsy.
Well, that's understandable, and that's okay. Everybody has their comfort zone. I'm not a people person myself, y'all. I kind of like to stay to myself in my own house where I'm most comfortable. So I'm just hoping that somebody's going to see him. Don't forget, if you live in the area of Sumner County or the surrounding counties, if you live in the surrounding counties, Robertson, Davidson, Wilson, even down to Rutherford, Williamson County, Cheatham County, Montgomery County, Dixon, listen, if he's walking, please check your property. He could be hiding out. He might be scared. He's probably going to be hungry and cold. What's your temperature? What's your weather there right now in Tennessee?
It was better today, but we've had freezing temperatures since he left.
Oh my goodness. Leslie says, remember, most people are good.
Just hope someone finds it.
Me too. Charlie Life says the family's trying to stay strong so they can get this baby found. They really don't have time to break down. That's right. You guys just keep praying. Listen, I'm going to let you guys go. And I will be in touch with you. Just text me tomorrow. We'll get together and we'll work on this billboard to get up. And I'll let you know the locations that are available for a Blit billboard. And I'll try to get that arranged as soon as possible. If you need anything, just reach out to me and let me know.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. And I will put Trev in touch with you. Take care, guys.
Hmm.
Okay, we're going to let them go.
That's so sad. Man. Hey, Nash. That's really sad. Chris is a good man. I would want, that's what I'm, Vincent, if I don't have children. I don't have children. I have dogs and a cat. And y'all know what happened when I lost my cat that one time. I was freaking out. Like it was crazy. It made me feel like Katie came into my head actually, because what happened was my stupid cat, we live in a second story apartment. So you have to come like through a door upstairs all the way to the back to get to where we live. One day I'm looking for Rocky. He's 16 years old. He's the love of my life. I love that cat. And I'm looking around for him. I don't know why I was looking for him. Just like make sure, like, I guess he was cool. I don't know. I just do that. Check on him. Couldn't find him. And Vincent's in the house. And I'm like, the doors are locked. Like, and I'm looking at the doors and I'm like, but they're locked. How could he have gotten out if the doors are locked? And as soon as I said that, I felt like Katie, when I think she says it in an interview, like, like the door was locked or something like along those lines. And I was just like, oh my God. I was like, is this what it feels like? Like I felt like I could feel less than a needle pin comparison. Like my heart broke when I realized I couldn't find my cat, let alone if I had a child I couldn't find. I found the cat an hour and a half later under our bed. I don't know. It's a storage bed. I don't know how he fit behind there. I don't know how he got behind there. But I was going through it. I really was. I thought like my child was missing. I really did. I was like, how do we get him? How would he get out the door? I'm going through my head going, how would he get out that front door? And then downstairs out that door? Because we're out back looking for him. I'm like, there's no way, right? There's no way. But you just never know. I mean, and that was just an animal. Not just an animal. He can hear me. No, I still have him and he's very much here. He's very much here. But I hope that they find Sebastian. And I just wish I knew where he was. I hope that he's somewhere cool and he comes back and he tells us, a good story. But if he doesn't come back to us, I hope that someone finds him. Because this family needs answers. They've been through holiday after holiday, birthdays now, Christmas. We all got to spend time with our family on Christmas. We got to unplug from the internet. The people, that stream Sebastian day and night, they got to unplug from it. Go spend time with their kids, spend time with their loved ones, and this family didn't get that. This family's not going to get, they're not going to get to make a little burr basket for, Sebastian for Valentine's Day, or, he's not going to be able to go to store as of right now, which I hope he is. I hope he's home before Valentine's Day, but I hope he gets to give a little girl a flower at school. Remember that, like the little carnations? And I think that Sebastian is going to have a lot of friends when he comes back. And I hope he comes back. I really do. Because he's going to have so many friends. He's going to have so many. We just have to scrub the internet of some stuff. I hope someone's held accountable too. I just hope that he's alive. If he's not alive, I hope that they're able to find out what happened, to him. Right, Carl? That's what, yeah, we're not asking the right questions. Maybe he needs to write those down for us like they do Betty. Oh, speaking of Betty, when did Betty start praying at the beginning of her live streams? Like Seth? Because Seth does that. And now Betty does it. And I was like, oh, don't bring the Lord in here, Betty. Don't bring the Lord in here. The Lord can't even handle this right now. He's like, Betty, I can't handle you right now. You're a whole mess. You're a whole mess. But she does go back. Actually, I took it all down, but she does go back to court, but she does have a continuance on one of her things. Let me see here. On one of her filings. That's not the right one. Let's see if I can find it. And I'll show it to you. There's like so many. Here it is. There's so many. Thank you. She needs to pray. Thank you, Barbie. She does. She needs to pray she doesn't go to jail. So up here at the top, it says now, this is for the criminal one too, which is the one that we want to see the criminal, because that's the one I feel like she could maybe get jail time. It's scheduled now March 19th. I might have to write the judge myself and be like, dude, we need to know. The internet needs a decision. See, Ron Blayton, could you do us a solid and, move this case up? But it still says motion hearing on the 8th. I don't know if she'll have to be there for that or if just her attorney has to be there. She could maybe go through Zoom since it is a 13-hour drive. I would, if I was the judge, I would allow her to do that if that was me, because I would want to see her there, that criminal case. You know what I mean? Make her happy now. Don't, drag her all the way there. Drag her there in March, but just think she's going to be maybe she'll be in jail for spring instead of winter. That could be a possibility. We can look, that's like something to look forward to. Because, now everyone loves spring. The birds are chirping, smell of grass. I think it's going to be Zoom. Yeah. With the judge too. Angel, me too. They make me cringe. Yeah. They can still revoke her bond. Yeah. Oh, man. I just wish they would just arrest her. I really do. Well, she's going in for just a motions hearing January 8th. So I don't think she'll be sentenced that day. I think she'll be sentenced on 3/19 when she goes for the criminal hearing. But I don't know for sure. I don't know for sure, actually. So. And then, oh, wait, here's the 1/8 continuance granted. And then 1/8 right here, it doesn't say anything yet. So she still has that motions hearing. So we'll see. Yeah, she does. I think she needs jail time, personally. I mean, she's not letting go of this case. And the thumbnails and the thumbnails and the content, she's still saying their names. And the titles. Sebastian, breaking news. And then she talks about Alec Murdaugh for 20 minutes. We ain't here for Alec Murdaugh. Put him on a different stream. I don't know. I just watched it for a second today. Literally a second, because I can't watch it without y'all. I have to watch it with you guys. It's just better that way to get a reaction. We got to get a reaction, Love a reaction. But I'm going to jump off of here. I've had a really busy day today. We went out and it was like, we were out for like 5 or 6 hours and we were like, what did we do? We didn't even go anywhere. Went to like the town over. It's like it. So, but thank you guys for being here tonight. I do appreciate it so much. I'll be back tomorrow night, 9:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I may do a day live tomorrow. So you just be on the lookout for that. It might be on the second channel over on Unfiltered with Tanya. That's my other channel. So if you want to subscribe over there, you guys are more than welcome. And I will see you guys all tomorrow if you're here. If not, have a wonderful Sunday. And thank you, Duchess, for being here and let me play in your interview. I appreciate it. It was a really good interview. I actually would love to see you do another interview with them now, like a year later. That's what you should do. You should do 1 year later and get a panel going someone needs to do a 1 year later, like a good one, like, you know what I mean? Like a good 1 year for Sebastian, if it comes to that, which we all hope it doesn't. We hope that he's found yesterday. But if, hopefully, you know, with the people that are out there, I know there's only a few people out there searching. Hopefully, I don't want them to come across anything, but if there is something out there, I hope that they do find it. But if he's not out there, then I really want him just to come home. But either way, this family deserves answers. And then that's the biggest thing. I feel like that would be affecting me, would be the not knowing. Like it's by some point, I think you would just want to know what happened to your child. So, but thank you guys for being here tonight. I appreciate you. I'll see you guys all tomorrow. And don't forget, you know, Sebastian is missing. If you have any information, call Sumner County or the TBI at 1-800-TBI-FIND. Bye, guys.